before I set off for Newcastle for the first game of the season, I thought I'd do a quick prediction video. Very high tech with all these cards, and there'll be no fancy editing in this video as well because I don't have time to do that. So hopefully this is all right. It'll all be in one take. So if there's any mistakes, that's what there is. Anyway, let's get into it. First prediction. Who do I think will be Newcastle's top scorer this season? I think it's pretty obvious, to be fair. I think as long as he stays fit all season, it's going to be Isak. He was miles ahead of anyone else last season. 25 goals in all competitions. I can't see that being any different this season. It's going to be Isak. He is absolutely world class. I've got no doubt about that, and I think he can improve his tally from last season as well. So we'll see. I think he'll get off to a good start today against Southampton as well. Who do I think will have the most assists? The next prediction. I think obviously Trippier had a big play in that last season, and he got us a lot of assists. However, I don't think he's going to be playing as much this season. I think Livramento is going to cement his place as our first choice right back, and I think Trippier will be phased out. Essentially, he's played his role within what he needed to do, what he came to the club to do, and I think he'll be with us this season, but he'll be in a backup role. So most assists, I think this season's going to go to Anthony Gordon. I just think he'll have another brilliant season. I think he'll improve on what he did last season, and I think he could turn out to be one of our players of the season again. Okay, next one. How many goals do I think Newcastle are going to concede this season? We conceded 62 last season, which was a heck of a lot. And the season before that, when we finished in fourth for the Champions League, we only conceded 33. I think we'll be somewhere in the middle of that this season because I don't think we'll get back to the level of only conceding 33 like we did 2 seasons ago. So I've put the figure at 44 goals conceded for Newcastle this season, which I think will be totally acceptable, actually, compared to 62 last season. So I think that's a big improvement. And then the next prediction is goals scored. How many goals will we scored? Last season we scored 85 goals in the league, which is absolutely incredible. This team is set up to score goals. I said at the beginning of last season we'd score a load of goals, and we did. And we scored 68 the season before when we qualified for the Champions League. So it shows that actually sometimes you can score fewer goals, but you get more points. So it's not always about just how many goals you score, as we know. I think we'll score somewhere between 68 and 85. So over the last 2 seasons, that's our totals. I think we'll get 76 goals this season. This team will score lots of goals. Eddie Howe's teams are set up to attack and play on the front foot when they can. And I think, again, we'll see the pattern of towards the end of games, we'll be fitter than a lot of teams and we'll score a lot of our goals in the last third of a game, say, last sort of half hour, last 20 minutes of a game, that sort of thing. So yeah, 76 goals. Which round of the FA Cup do I think Newcastle are going to get to? We got to the quarter-final last season. I think we'll repeat that this season. I think, obviously, it depends on draw completely. I mean, you could get knocked out in the 3rd round. I'm aware of that. If you get a really hard away draw, which we are likely to do. I mean, our cup draws last season were insanely ridiculous. But I think it'll be quarter-final in the FA Cup. I don't know. I just have a bit of a feeling about that. But that does lead me on to the Carabao Cup. And obviously, we got to the final 2 seasons ago. Knocked out in the quarter-finals last season, really, really unluckily, to Chelsea. I'm still not over that game completely. I think we'll do a bit better in the Carabao Cup this season. I can see us getting to the semi-final and maybe get knocked out with a little bit more heartbreak. But it might be better to lose in the semi-final than to lose in the final. I don't know. So yeah, semi-final for the Carabao Cup. Total points in the league, what do I reckon for us? So again, we got 60 points last season, finished 7th. 71 points the season before, we finished 4th. I think with an improved away record, we will finish on more points than last season. I think we'll get a substantially bigger amount of points than last season. I'm going to say we're going to get 70 points altogether. And that leads me to my next prediction, which is what will the final league position be for Newcastle? I'm going to go with 5th. Now, that's a bit of an optimistic one, I think. Lots of people talking about all sorts of potential where we should be finishing or where we might finish. I said to a friend the other day that I think we have a very high ceiling this season, but we have quite a low floor as well. So I could see us, realistically, if things go really, really well, we could finish as high as 3rd. But if things don't go well, we could finish as low as 8th. I think we're somewhere in that region. And I think everything would have to be perfect for us to finish 3rd, obviously. There is a chance we could get into the top 4 and qualify for the Champions League. I've got no doubt about that. Whether we actually will do that based on how the summer's gone and who we've signed so far and all that kind of stuff, I'm a little bit wavering on that. So I'm going to say 5th, which I think is still quite a bold prediction in a sense, because lots of people won't be predicting us to finish that high. But I think if we just improve our away form, if we concede fewer goals, then we're going to be well on our way to do that. So I think 5th is a realistic chance, and I'll be very, very happy with that. Okay, last one. A bold prediction for the season. I love doing a bold prediction. One of the things that I've been thinking about a lot is since last season is just how awful our record is away to the, and I apologise for using this phrase, the Big Six. I don't like calling them that, but that is what they're referred to as. Our record away from home against those teams is dreadful, and we lost every single one of them away from home last season. And in the league, that is. Obviously, we beat Man United in the League Cup. I appreciate. We lost to Chelsea in the League Cup in the League Cup, so we lost to them twice away from home. Anyway, the point is, our record against those 6 teams is dreadful. So my bold prediction is that record is going to change at some point, and we have been getting close over the last couple of years to doing that. So I'm going to predict that we will beat at least 2 of those so-called Big Six teams away from home this season. So it's a record that's in dire need of improving, and we have to believe we can do it. And I think once you can maybe take Tottenham out of it in a sense, but Arsenal, Liverpool, Manchester City at the moment, and Man United in it as well, really in the league. Our record at those 4 places is woeful. I think once we sort of get over the hurdle of beating one of those teams, one of those 4 that I've just said, I think the belief will be there that we can do it. And I think we will do that this season. And I think we'll beat at least 2 of them away from home. That will contribute to a better away form. That will contribute to a higher league finish. And I'm feeling pretty good about this season. I'm excited for today. We're playing Southampton. I'm about to set off. And yeah, enjoy the game. I hope that you agree with me, with my predictions. If you don't, let me know in the comments below. And I'll see you really soon for another video.